Hi guys, today we're going to be clearing out the big blue containers and potting them up for fall and winter interest. We've got our summer annuals in here now, but we're supposed to get down into the 40s for the next few nights, and we're pretty much at the end of the summer season, so they're starting to look a little tired, a little splayed out, so it's definitely time to swap them out. So right in front of the walkway that leads to the berry beds, we've got 2 of our 4 big blue containers potted up with Play in the Blue salvia and sweet potato vine. But you can see the sweet potato vine is starting to wilt down a little bit. It still looks pretty colorful. The Play in the Blue salvia, while it does have a few blooms still on it, it has completely splayed out and split into 3 separate stems. So if we get in here close, I can show you we've got a crack, a total split right here. So this whole section right here is going to wither up in the next few days. So we're going to lose about 1/3 of the plant. And while we do have quite a bit of pollinator activity on these 2 plants, I may try and just save them, maybe just stick them in a large nursery container and just kind of let them hang on for as long as they can just for the pollinators. But the pollinators have more than enough to feed on all around here. But you can see, like right in here, this whole section over here just completely fell over and it's starting to wilt. So that's the one thing about Play in the Blue salvia. As beautiful as it is and as much as the pollinators love it, when it gets big like this, it gets very brittle. So you get a little bit of wind or rain and it gets pushed over and then it just cracks. I've never tried staking this plant, but I may try that next year when we plant it, because even though it does tend to split, I will always plant this because it is absolutely beautiful. The pollinators love it and I love it. But next year, I think I may try when we plant them, because they're so small when we get them, I may try putting them in, probably surround them or put them in like a tomato cage. That way when they grow, they'll have support all the way around so they can grow more upright. And if we get heavy rain and winds, which pretty much we get tons of rain in June and July here, they hopefully will maintain their structure and they won't flop because they'll be in the cages. So yeah, that's something to look forward to for next year. But this year, it's time to switch all of these out. So these 2 containers, we're going to clear everything out and then we're going to repot them up. And then we have the other 2 big blue containers with our sunflowers, and they look so good. Aren't they cheery? Look at these. And the pollinators do like these too, but you can see that they're starting to lighten up a little bit in color and they're slowly starting to arch. So these are not going to be lasting too much longer, especially if we're going to be in the low 40s for the next few nights. These are going to completely wither down. So I'm thinking I may just chop these off and make like a little arrangement and then just top off the soil and repot these 2 with some fall and winter interest. For the winter part of our planting projects today, I'm going to be using what I have on hand. I've got 2 junior giant arborvitaes and 3 boxwoods, 2 green velvet and 1 green mountain. One of the green velvets is reserved for this back patio area here by the berry beds. I've got a boxwood that kind of bit it, so I'll replace that later. So 2 of the containers are going to have junior giant arborvitaes, and then the other 2, they're going to have 1 green velvet and 1 green mountain boxwood. These are our 2 junior giant arborvitaes. These are our spares for the arborvitae hedge over here. In the event that something happens to any of those, we have a couple on hand that we can always just pop in and replace. And then our boxwoods over here, this is our 2 green velvets, and then we have the green mountain boxwood here. And this is the boxwood that is not looking so well in the berry bed section. So I wanted to give it a little bit of time, but I think, in the next few days, I'm going to have to just pop it out and replace it. So I'm going to replace it with this green velvet boxwood because it's close to the same height and shape. So then I'm left with this green velvet, which is growing much more upright and conical, kind of like the Green Mountains typically do, but this one is just a bit smaller and a little bit on the greener side. But honestly, I don't really care. I just want to use what I have on hand, and it can last throughout the winter. So the only thing that I did pick up for this planting project today were the annuals. Aren't they pretty? I've got two varieties of pansies here. I've got this honey apricot color, which I absolutely love. It's probably one of my favorite colors, especially for fall. So I always try to get this. And then I've got this dark burgundy purple. Look at that. With just a little bit of like an orange yellow eye, which kind of goes with the honey apricot. I think they're going to be beautiful together. And then I picked up a couple of variety packs of ornamental kale. I'm not 100% sure what colors they are. I'm thinking purple, white, and red. So I've got 2 flats of these. There's 18 of them. We're obviously not going to use all of them, but I'm going to get at least, I think, 3 in each container. Maybe 1 of each color. And as far as soil goes, I'm going to be topping all these containers off with the Espoma organic potting mix, but I'm not going to be adding any fertilizer to any of the containers because we're in the fall and the temperatures are cooling down. It's not the growing season for them. They're not going to put on a lot of growth, but just getting some fresh soil around the root balls is more than enough for them in the fall. But we have to grab some soil from our pallet here. And again, I can only get the little bag, so at least I can get them. The big ones seem to be unavailable right now. That should be good, I think. If we need more, we've got more. I'm going to start working on the first 2 containers with the sunflowers, and then I'll move on to the last 2 with the salvia and sweet potato vine. All right, guys, I've got our sunflowers cut and in a bucket of fresh water. I think I may want to make just a quick arrangement with just sunflowers. I've got this lemon and it appears to be grapes. Lemon and grape vase over here. I've had this forever. I picked it up, I want to say at Goodwill for like $1. But I think it's just beautiful, and I think the sunflowers are just going to look so cheery and a little Mediterranean-y. But the problem is that I don't think this interior can hold water. So fortunately, I found a vase that is slender enough to go right into the center, right in there. So we are just going to leave that in there. I'm going to fill it with water, and then we'll just arrange these flowers in the vase inside the vase. Oh, doesn't it look beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love it. I used almost every single sunflower. Oh, and it looks so good. I love it. What do you guys think? Well, the bumblebee likes it. Oh, it's so pretty. And they're just in fresh water. There's no fertilizer or plant food or anything. Oh, so cheery and pretty. And I love this vase. I think this combination right here, it's very simple, Mediterranean, beautiful. I may just leave this arrangement outside too because the bumblebees love it. That was a really fun flower arrangement to make, and I prefer arrangements more on the simplistic side, especially when we're dealing with sunflowers. They're one of my favorite flowers, and just having them in one big mass as an arrangement is just perfect. That's all you need. So now we are ready to clear out all 4 of our big blue containers and get them all potted up for fall and winter. Let me show you what I'm going to do with one of them, and then we're going to go through and get the other 3 done. It's going to be basically the same thing, except for two of the containers will have boxwoods and 2 will have the arborvitaes. All right, first we're going to start by clearing out our containers, getting rid of these sunflower root balls, which are surprisingly not as big as I expected them to be, but they were in these containers for a short time. So we'll just try and save as much soil as we can from the root balls. So that way we only have a little bit to top up. I'm actually looking forward to some fall containers. The cool weather is coming. We're supposed to get rain in a little bit, so it's just going to be a nice change of scenery, atmosphere, mood. Okay, so this is pretty much cleaned out. So now I just want to top up our soil. So I'm just going to add some potting mix. Mix it all up. It's nice and damp, so we don't have to worry about moistening it. And I think we should be good. I might just top it up a little bit more, but once we add the boxwood in here, the root ball is going to take up some of this space. So we'll have a little more soil. But I do want to get some in the container as opposed to trying to get it all around these tiny little plants. That should be good. Okay. Let's just get this nice and level. And now, just to make it easier, we're going to take our boxwood out of the container, and I'm going to use this as our mold. So I'm going to clear some of this out, make a well. And all I'm doing is just pressing the soil against the sides of the container. We're going to need to take some out. Yeah. There we go. Oh. I found an old tulip bulb. So now I just want to center the container so we can just get our boxwood nice and firmly planted there. And now I'm just going to take a little bit more soil and fill up right up to the edge. I'm going to leave about an inch and a half from the top of the container. That way when we water, it won't spill over the sides of the container and make a mess all over the ground. I am really excited about cleaning out the other two containers because I'll get to see those containers. They're completely covered with sweet potato vine. They're beautiful, but it's nice to kind of see your containers every now and again. All right. So now we have this all ready to go. I'm thinking, nope, we're good. So now we just take that out and pop in our boxwood. Make sure it's nice and firmly packed in here. Make sure it's straight. Take a look at it. Make sure it's exactly how you want it. Step back if you need to. Take a look at it from all sides, because one side may look lopsided. Perfect. So now we're ready to plant our annuals, and it's just a matter of arranging them however you want to do it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, since this is going to stay right here, we're going to see this side the most. I'm going to put a kale here, another one here, and a third one here. So I'm going to split them into thirds, and then I'm just going to fill them in with the pansies, alternating between the honey apricot and the burgundy. All right, here we go. So I think I'm going to use, again, I think these kale are a variety pack, so I'm going to use one of each. So we'll have a red, I think a purple, and a white. And that's okay. I'm just going to make a little well and get this in here. I'm planting them a little bit at an angle, and I'm planting them maybe a titch high just so they can kind of rest on the edge of the container a little bit. Make sure to pack soil all around the root ball. We don't want any roots exposed. Let's get all of these kale out of here. We'll put the white one here, and whatever color this one's going to be here. So let's just make a little well, get these in. Now that's going to look so good. Doing this from the back side. Okay, now we'll just fill them in with the pansies. Let's do honey apricot, honey apricot, honey apricot. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, our first container is done and it looks so cute. It'll look even better once the pansies start to bloom even more. But we've got our ornamental kale. I dotted 3 of them all the way around. Then I came in with 3 of the honey apricot pansies and just 2 of the burgundy ones right here and right here, only because I only have 8. So I want to make sure each container gets at least 2, but I think that's going to look really sweet. And then in the winter, these will still hang out. These could potentially hang out, so this whole thing is going to last quite a bit. And it's just easy. All right, we got the first one done, 3 more to go. Then I'll bring you back around and show you how they all look. We got a sweet potato. I wonder if it's edible. We got all 4 pots cleaned out, repotted, watered in, and they look so good. So here's our first container with our green velvet boxwood, and we've got our ornamental kale dotted around 3 times, and then we filled in with our honey apricot and our burgundy pansies. And you can see a little bit of soil right in here, but again, The pansies need just a little bit of time to kind of fill out, and then they'll just fill in this whole section. You won't be able to see any of the soil, but I think they look really, really cute. I love them. I love this. We've got our other boxwood container on the opposite side of the patio. Same setup, but this is a Green Mountain boxwood, and we have the 3 kale and the honey apricot and burgundy pansies all throughout. Oh, it's so pretty. And then right over here, hi Shoo Shoo. Do you want to say hi? You want to say hi to everybody? I'm sure they've missed you. It's been a while. And then right over here along the pathway by our berry beds, we've got our 2 arborvitae containers, Junior Giant arborvitae, and then the ornamental kale and pansies. Pretty much the same setup around all of them. And then again, they'll fill in and cover up the soil. And here's a look at the last one. Now the only thing I need to really do is come in here and kind of scrub these containers a little bit, because they've got like the remnants of the sweet potato vine. So I just need to kind of clean them up a little bit, and I will, but it looks like right over there is clear, but we've got rain coming. I can already start to feel a tiny bit of sprinkles. And lastly, we have our beautiful sunflower arrangement. Oh, you guys, this looks so pretty. Oh, I love it. And again, I think the pattern of the vase and the sunflowers, I think they just go so well together. Look at that. Minus my gloves. So pretty. And you guys, we are done for the day. I'm so glad to get these big blue containers cleaned out and ready to go for fall. And I'm really excited that I can actually see some of the containers again. While the sweet potato vine is gorgeous to look at, I love that chartreuse green color. Towards the end of the season, it's nice to clear everything out, just like we did in the vegetable garden, and kind of unearth our containers again, because they are pretty. I do love them, but it's nice to see them once in a while. But again, I would do the sweet potato vine again, because I love it. I think it's great. It's a bold statement. But again, it's just nice to switch it all up at the end of the season and get something fresh and ready for fall and winter too. So that's the great thing about these containers. They're going to work for fall and winter interest, because even if we get a harsh winter and the pansies get set back and the kale goes, we still have the evergreens, 2 arborvitae and 2 boxwoods. So even if everything else fizzles out, we will still have winter interest. So yeah, we get double our bang for our buck, I guess you could say. I don't know. Either way though, we're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of these through 2 seasons and possibly more. And you guys, before we go, I gotta show you one thing, because it just caught my eye. And of course, because our vase that we did our sunflower arrangement in is lemon themed. Check this out. Look at our lemon tree, you guys. We are ready to harvest lemons. Isn't that beautiful? And these are going to be coming inside very soon, because we are getting into cooler nights. I did harvest our first lemon a few days ago. I sliced it and tasted it. Totally different than a store-bought lemon. I don't know what it is. It tasted like lemon. It had a more intense fragrance, but it wasn't as acidic or as tart. You know how like when you bite a lemon from the store, it's kind of like, you're kind of like, whoa, that's got some kick to it. These homegrown lemons were a lot milder. I don't know if it's the variety. These are Meyer lemons, but they tasted so good. I ate 2 slices. And you guys, that is it for our video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.